What is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to That's Shoot, my weekly episodic show. What's going on in the world of professional wrestling? Unless we get to a day like today when it's predictions, and that's what we're gonna do. We will be predicting the WWE Survivor Series Wargames. Only 4 matches to predict, but we'll be predicting them anyway. So make sure you catch that tomorrow night, and after tomorrow night we'll be doing the record reaction for that as well. So let me tell you what's going to go down for pretty much the rest of the year. We got the predictions episode today. Tomorrow at the Survivor Series War Games we have the record reaction to it. We've got next week, next Friday will be the deadline predictions of NXT deadline, and then next Saturday, after deadline goes off, we'll do the reactions to deadline. Then on December 13th is John Cena's final match, Saturday night's main event. I will not be doing predictions for that because I'm not even sure, but we don't know the matches yet, and I'm not going to be doing predicting the matches. But I will be doing a rapid reaction to that to talk about not only that show, but to talk about the legacy of John Cena. And so we got that. Obviously, at some point as well in December, later closer to the end of December, we will be doing the WWE annual award show that I do here, where we'll be giving out awards to the like superstars and matches and things like that. So I'll be doing that. I also will be doing, and hopefully I can do this before the John Cena match, or maybe if I do it right after, it might be something. But yeah, we will be I will be putting a list together. Because I still have some matches that I need to watch, but we're going to be putting together the top 10. I will bring the top 10 matches of John Cena's career. This is something that I started back in January. Not January. This is something I started back last year when he announced it at Money in the Bank that he was retiring. I had already said, okay, but I'm doing the top 10 John Cena matches of all time, and I will be doing that. And originally, I was going to do it at the start in January, but just never got to it. And then when I finally did get to it, I watched some matches, but I still got like 3 or 4 matches, maybe even 5 that I still need to watch, put a rating on them, and then at some point I will put them in order and do this. So yeah. And I'm glad I did, because we got one during this last year. Obviously, the AJ Styles John Cena match that was just impeccable, truly incredible. A love letter to the business of professional wrestling, and that needed to be on the list, and it will be on the list, and we have to find out what it is. Without going into it, there's a possibility that John Cena's 3 best matches were with AJ Styles. That's incredible. John Cena's 3 best matches were with AJ Styles. That's insane. So yeah, we got that. We do the top 10 John Cena list, and then I think that's pretty much going to be it for the remainder of the year. When it comes to this, we'll start back in sometime in January. That's a shoot. Probably the week of my birthday week. My birthday starts on Sunday, January 11th. So with that Friday, Monday, we at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So January 16th, I will probably start back again. I seriously need to make a better effort to do what I do. This my intro is, I say, is This is the weekly every Sunday show where I talk about what's going on in professional wrestling. And it has not been weekly. It just hasn't this year. And I know this year one of the things that I said that I was going to do was that I wasn't going to try to force myself into content. That if I didn't think I had anything to talk about, or if I just didn't feel like doing it, then I wasn't going to do it. And I've kind of done that, especially in the last month or so, because there's a lot of things happening in the last month that was just insane. But that being said, I do need to be more consistent, because I'm just not growing as a channel. I'm not growing. I'm not getting the views that I want. I'm not getting the subscriptions that I want. I'm just not growing. I'm not there, and I need to try to get there. I got to. And that's not only with just this content, my wrestling content, but it's with everything I do. My reaction videos, my try not to laugh, my talking videos, or whatever else it is, my video game reviews, anything like that. I don't think I did a video game review I didn't do one for Call of Duty. I didn't do one for the Mortal Kombat Collection, although I probably didn't need to do one for that. I don't think I did one for NBA 2K. So there's a lot of things that I need to get back and start doing, and the part of me needs to force it. Part of me is also because of what I just did with the yawning. I am just so tired, and even though I got a CPAP machine, which you can see in the background, that thing doesn't work. It work as well as it should, because that thing's supposed to help me get more sleep, get better sleep, so that I'm not tired. But it doesn't. I wake up and I'm still tired. I get 8 hours of sleep, which is, but actually they say that 7 hours of sleep you can work functionally with. So if I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, I should be working functionally. I shouldn't be tired. I shouldn't be yawning, but I am. And I yawn throughout these videos. I yawn throughout the rapid reactions. So it's just so I really gotta try and do that. I really do next year, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But I think I gotta try, and I think I said this year I was gonna force myself. I might have to force myself so that I can try to do something here, but it just is what it is. So, and with that being said, let's get back to why we're here, and that's predicting. So let's go ahead and start the predictions of Survivor Series Wargames 2025. So first, let's talk about the Women's World Championship match. Stephanie Verkera taking on Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella is back in the WWE, and I don't know. I know that she came back to do something with Liv Morgan for Evolution. So I'm not sure if she has if she's decided just to stay just for a little bit to do what she just stay around. I know I saw something online where it was talking about Nikki Bella wants one more run, and I think if they could, and I'm not sure if it's because Brie has some type of contract with AEW, or if they just don't want to have Brie there because of her relationship with Daniel Bryan, who's in AEW. I think the latter is foolish and ridiculous. Um, there's absolutely no reason for the Bella Twins not to be, you know, in the WWE and not for them to do a tag run, because you know they created those tag titles, um, and I don't believe the Bella Twins even heard them. I don't think he was a player. I know Nikki had came back, but I think Brie was then off with her pregnancy. So you know, if you could bring Brie Bella in, I would love for 2026 to be the year of the Bella Twins, and having them face all of the women's tag team championships. And I think it's perfect too, because I think Nikki and Brie, they're not the type of champions that need to be on every week, every show. You can just come around and have them come back every week, and come back when they're needed. So I think that would be perfect for them, but who knows? So yeah, it's Stephanie McCure is gonna win here, and I really hope Stephanie and Stephanie and Nikki can have a really good match. So kind of silence the haters of Nikki Bella, saying that she can't hang in this new era. And listen, the Divas era was what it was, but I think Nikki was pretty decent in the ring. I think Brie was very decent as well. I think a lot of the girls who were from that Divas era, when they brought in the Women's Revolution, hung tough and hung well. And I don't think there was anybody there who was, seriously, like outclassed or anything like, or shown that they couldn't hang. And even now with AJ Lee's back, and AJ Lee's only had one match, and it was a good match, and I think we'll now see where she is at. I think her being part-time is good as well, and we'll see what happens with her. But yeah, I think Nikki Bella can hang. I think this will be a pretty decent match, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm picking Stephanie McCure to retain the Women's World Championship. The Women's Wargames match is up next. We have Team Rhea Ripley, which includes Rhea, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and AJ Lee, taking on Team Kabuki Warriors of Asuka, Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and Becky Lynch. Now, I saw something on Twitter. I believe it was Twitter. I would say online, to be sure. I saw something online where it said that the plan is for Alexa Bliss to turn on Charlotte Flair in War Games. She would turn on Charlotte Flair. We would start their feud. And I'm kind of sad at that, because I really did like them as a team, and I would have loved for them to have been, a team for a little bit longer. I kind of think that's maybe like a breakup before or after WrestleMania, right? And I don't know if I would have done it like this. For me, like if I would break up Charlotte and Alexa, the breakup would have been where Charlotte would have went for the #1 contendership for the Women's World Championship against Jade Cargill, and Alexa Bliss would have cost her the match because they were doing so good as a tag team, and Charlotte had to be Charlotte and just think about herself, something like that, and then that's how I would have started. But if that is true, that is still the case, then tomorrow night they're gonna break up, and I would hate that. I really would. But I also think that tomorrow night the folks have to, because I think the men's match is going the way of one way. So you would think if the men's match was going one way, then the women's match would go the other way. Now maybe that's not what they're thinking. Maybe they think the story is better. Oh fuck it, I'll just say it. I think the heels are going to win in the men's match. So when you want the faces to win the women's match. So yeah, I kind of just think that it makes sense, and also because in the women's match you can then start the Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Kabuki Warriors thing, on Raw, and I think again Charlotte and Alexa versus Vicious Last Legend Nia Jax can be on SmackDown, and then you have AJ Lee and Becky Lynch doing their thing. So I don't know. Well, she did say. I will say that report did say that she was going to turn on Charlotte Flair in War Games, but that it wasn't that she was going to cost them the victory. So I guess that could still happen. Because didn't that happen in the NXT Women's War Games where, right, it was Dakota Kai turning on Tegan Knox, I believe it was, and Tegan Knox was out, but so then it was like what it was like Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, and Io Sky, I believe. I can't remember, but I believe it was those three left, and then they took on the four or five other girls, whatever it was, and then they came out victorious. So I guess you can still do that here. But if you're gonna have Alexa Bliss turn on Charlotte Flair, you could still have those four beat the other five. So I don't know. We'll see. But I guess I'm gonna go with Team Rhea Ripley because I just feel like if you're gonna have the men win, the heels men win, you need to have the women baby faces win. So and maybe that's unreasonable logics. You have to find out what the best story going forward is going to be. And that's the way you find out the reason who wins and who they take the pin and who takes the pin, because you want to talk about who's going to have the best story, coming out of this, and and even with that, this thing, but I do think Rhea Ripley again, Rhea Ripley, goddamn it, Rhea Ripley winning is a lot better, than the heels winning. So I'm gonna say Team Rhea Ripley for the win in War Games Women's Edition. Now, here's the match that I am totally not sure what's gonna happen. Intercontinental Championship match: John Cena in his second to last match against Dom Mysterio. What's gonna happen? What's gonna be? On one hand, I would love to see John Cena win the Intercontinental Championship, then go to Saturday night's main event and take it there, because there are things there you can do. You can have him lose it to what is gonna look like Gunther, and Gunther's back doing what he's done. I think does best in the Intercontinental Championship. Because I just think that he can win in the Intercontinental Championship. He can have great matches and win in the Intercontinental Championship. When he's the World Heavyweight Championship, or Heavyweight Champion, he's got to lose it. he's gonna have to lose it because there's gonna be somebody who deserves it. Like Jay deserved it. He needed to win. And then like when they put it back on him for some reason, it was Punk. Punk needed it. Punk needed it. And now Punk has the World Heavyweight Championship again. And from what reports on WrestleMania, it's not going to be Punk and Braun Breaker. It's going to be Punk and Roman Reigns for the championship, which is kind of unreal, I think, when you think about it. So it's unreal because they're not putting the title on Braun Breaker. Like right now, like I don't know. To me, that's like a given. I mean, that's the reason why. That's the reason why you turned on him, right? You had Braun turn on Seth Rollins because now, okay, so you have him do that because so now he's gonna be the champion, and whether it was CM Punk or Jey Uso, I figured they were gonna hold the championship until WrestleMania when Braun Breaker would win it. But that doesn't look to be the case. And that's crazy for me. And that's crazy for me. So, but anyway, to this match, this could go anyway. Dom Mysterio is going to be in his hometown of San Diego. So you don't know if he's going to get cheered or going to be booed. He's going to be cheered because he's in his hometown. He's going to be booed because he's facing John Cena in the second to last match. Things can get really interesting tomorrow night. And what happens? You've taken the Intercontinental Championship off of Dominic Mysterio. You've taken it off of him. Should you have done it? I don't know. I think that's a 50-50 proposition in itself. Taking it off of him, taking it on him. I think they really did it because I think they wanted, they wanted because the fans were asking for it. Like the fans were asking for an AJ Styles match. They gave it to him. I think the fans were hoping that he would get John Cena would get a match or John Cena would have a chance to win the Intercontinental Championship, and he did. But now you got Dominic Mysterio. He still has a championship. He's the AAA Mega Champion. So it is what it is. I kind of think that you have to do. I think what the best case is that you're taking the title off Dominic Mysterio. There is a reason to put it back on him, but there's also not a reason to put it back on him. So I kind of think, John Cena should win this here. And he should retain the Intercontinental Championship. So I'm thinking John Cena to retain the Intercontinental Championship. And finally, the men's War Game match. Team CM Punk, consisting of the Usos, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and of course CM Punk, against Team Vision with Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, a suspended Drew McIntyre, and the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. So, who wins here? This is going to be interesting. This, I think, is going to be great. Again, I said earlier, I think the heels have to win here because I think that sets up so many other things going forward. Because if the baby faces win, it doesn't set up too much of anything. The feud is over, but I think they're gonna continue on with the Vision because I think that you're looking for, you're looking for like something like it's like Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns probably need to have one more match, right? Roman's won one. Roman has won a match, and Bronson Reed has won a match. So now you got to go to the rubber match. So you've got that. You've got there's one more match, and that's probably like the day one edition of Netflix. The first match of the year Netflix. If I just put their do there. You get the Usos versus the probably Breaker. And right now you can't do the Usos because Breaker and Reed. Well, maybe you can Breaker and Logan Paul. Maybe you can do that. There's Drew McIntyre. So maybe you have Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre on that on that show. The first Netflix episode of the year. I think they said they were gonna make that like an everything year where it was gonna be like a special day where on the first Raw, of the year was gonna be like it's gonna be trying to make that special. I think we just said that last year, so I think that's gonna happen. And you can do that having all of those matches. And yes, I think you can have all of those things, and then you could have. Who knows? CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. Who knows what you can do with that? Or maybe you want to save that for like Saudi and the Royal Rumble. So, but yeah, I think there's a lot of things that can happen if the heels win, and especially now again with the reports that they're looking at that it's going to be Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. For the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, and not CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. Then maybe it's obviously some things happen in that match where there's a confusion where they're not on the same page, and CM Punk and Roman Reigns and then that starts on their path to WrestleMania. So we'll have to see how that goes, but should be fun. And again, I am picking the Team Vision to get the victory at Survivor Series. Alright, so to quickly recap, I've got Stephanie McCurry retaining the Women's World Championship. I have Team Rhea Ripley winning the Women's War Game match. John Cena retaining the Intercontinental Championship. And Team Vision to win the Men's War Games match. Should be fun. A lot of fun tomorrow night. Can't wait to see what happens. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know how you guys feel about my predictions. Let me know your predictions for tomorrow night's War Game. And don't forget, right after War Games tomorrow night, come back here. Click that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I go live as we talk about what went down on Survivor Series War Games. You're not going to want to miss it. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy, AJTRIP, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And this just come across my mind. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody did that. And I am out.